Were there any interviews for the film that you could not secure?
So there are definitely interviews that I wanted to be included in this that didn't, for whatever reason. Uma definitely visited and tried to be a part of it, and for whatever reason, I think we've seen reasons as to why we can make our own opinions. There's probably others. She ultimately declined. But she's very present. Lawrence Bender, I definitely would have liked to include as his longtime producing partner. And I'm just, everybody has reasons. Scheduling issues with, unfortunately, John Travolta. I believe that's what happened there. And with DiCaprio and Pitt as well. But at the same time, I have a list of people that I would have loved to have in here. I guess, thankfully, I couldn't get everybody. I'd still be shooting.
Oh,
one.
Okay.
And how long would this documentary be? So Tarantino has a very large community and very wide net. And there's any part of him can be dug into deeper. We mentioned the music, how he uses music in the documentary. We mention it. We point to it. But we didn't even have time to talk about that, and that's huge. That's huge. Or, there's so many parts of him that we could have gone way deeper, and that goes with the people too. So we did the best we could. But Lawrence Bender, I definitely would have. I think we miss him a little bit. Yeah.
Quentin did an interview where he said he just really loves when he looks at the film and he realizes it's all goes back to him with the pen and paper, just kind of writing, and started there and then has become this big thing. How is this for you when you think about these two documentaries with these two legends, filmmakers that you love? Just started with you watching their films, being a film lover. What magic can you take from that little statement that Quentin's talking about?
Yeah, I feel with these documentaries. Now I'm working on a narrative, so that feels like, you have these moments like, I can see this character and I can see this and I can see that. With the documentaries, it's so much more not me, because they tell the story. So I think my magic moments come from what are they going to say, and really, because I don't tell this story, they do, right? So you go in and you sit down and you're like, how's this going to go?
Sure.
Right? And then you do that with, I think we had 15 or 16 interviewees on this. So it's very much like what's going to happen? What are they going to present so that we can go back and have fun with Quentin Tarantino? So it's very off of me. It comes.
I see what you're saying. Right. It's less personal. It's
much less, but
sure.
It's definitely not about what am I going to do, right? Because they tell me. That's how I feel about this. They tell the stories. Again, going back to Richard Linklater, what was amazing is to find out that Keanu Reeves said it. There's no slacker in this slacker. Right?
I saw that part in the trailer.
It's great. I'm like, he's not what people think he is, or there's more to what people think he is, So that's really fun to unravel, and that's the magic for me. And with Quentin, he's this big, huge personality, but he's also really intimate and brilliant and specific. So that was exciting to come out, and then the different ways they tell you that, and then how we bring that around to the way he shoots something, or the reason there's blood all the way over there and not just right here, what makes Quentin, and it's like weaving all of that together. So that's the magic for me, if that answers you.
It does. And sorry for going with that. I know it was a sort of like, wait, is this a real question? What is this right here?
That's cool though, because it's I think it's different. I think it's different. That, you know, a lot of people go out for a documentary with an intent, you know, or very specific, you know, the water is bad in Flint, right? So we're going to find out why and how that affects people. And So you're going this way. I feel with this documentary, it comes the other way. It comes around.
Interesting.
You know?
Right. When you did your film on Richard Linklater, what happened once the film was out? How did people, especially in the Austin area, react, because he's sort of Austin's darling? Not sort of it, he is, you know, Austin's darling, aside from Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, when Linklater came out, there were mixed reviews. I think when you're a first-time filmmaker, people are maybe a little bit harder. You know, they don't know what to expect. It's kind of the opposite of what we were just talking about, right? So they don't know what to expect. People are revisiting that film, and I'm getting a much different response this time around, because they kind of understand now. Why, you know, I got so much flack for not interviewing the director. Oh my God. Like, as soon as they knew that, like, that was it for them. They're out. You don't interview the director. It's not the definitive documentary.
Interesting.
Well, what is the definitive documentary on somebody in 90 minutes? You know, like, what is that? And if it's not this, that's okay. But this is what this is. So people are revisiting that and seeing it differently, which is really nice. It's interesting, though.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I think it could have done a lot better. More people should have seen that. It's fun.
On Rick, you mean?
Yeah.
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 And so knowing that was something that was said, that the subject, quote unquote, actual subject of the documentary is not in it.
People were mad at me about that. People were mad. Like, how could you not? How is it a documentary if you don't interview him?
Well,
but what I find interesting is that we're doing a documentary on somebody who's still alive and working. Right?
I mean, I just saw one on Miles Davis, and he wasn't in it. You know,
Exactly.
there might have been some old footage of him, definitely. But it was about the music, and it was about the people that knew him and some of the troubles that he dealt with, and it was fascinating. So, you know,
it's just different.
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, there's different ways of showing things, and if you're doing only the person that it's on, then it's like it's a Mike Wallace interview, and you're and nothing against Mike. His stuff was great, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just very different. Was it Francis Ford Coppola that his documentary just came out? Is that where it's him talking about all his films?
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I'm not aware of that one.
I hope I'm not saying that incorrectly. That's very interesting too.
There's different
it's
styles.
Very different.
Yeah, there's different styles. So, you know, there's verite, there's different, and then there's including the person in it, and then there's not, and the story is going to be maybe somewhat different. I mean, we all see ourselves differently than other people see us, so.
And I find that fascinating.
Right. Why not have other people tell the story?
Yeah.